Let's get started. Today, we're going to help you understand that this year I'm going to help 100 individuals get organized. Not only get organized, but maintain that organization through systems. If you'd like to be one of those, hit me up in the chat. Let me know that you're interested in getting organized one space at a time. Organization is not all about making your house look super perfect like a magazine. It's really about maintaining that organization on a regular daily basis. And you'll find that your house then will begin to look like the magazine. So, today, the 15-minute search. Why can't I find anything? And how we're going to finally fix that. I'm going to be talking about those things that we just can't find on a regular daily basis that's wasting time, energy, money, and effort, and so on. So you're running out of the house. You can't find your car keys. You're looking everywhere. You've torn up the house. You yelled at the dog. You have um, gone up and down the stairs 15 times, and you're now 15 minutes late for a meeting that you're supposed to be in because you're presenting this morning. Or better yet, you need to get the child to daycare or to school, and now they're going to be 15 minutes late. It's embarrassing, it's upsetting, it's frustrating. You start the self blame and really, make yourself feel badly. Well, we don't have to do all that. What we need to really do is just calm down, just quietly start to think, where was the last place I placed it? And even that can be hard to do when you're so frustrated. But I want you to learn to just decrease the stress and let's just take a step backward. So you finally found the keys. They were buried where? Underneath a pile of papers. Now you're even more angry. But let's calm down because now we've got to get into the vehicle and drive. So we really need to be a lot more calm. And you've asked yourself 100 times before, why does this keep happening? Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep losing those things that I use every single day? One of them is lost every morning when I get up and I'm trying to get out of the house. Now, if you regularly spend a significant amount of time searching for things daily, like your keys and important documents, that favorite shirt, your phone charger, the kids' permission slips, you're not alone. There's a lot of other people out there that are doing the same thing. More importantly, do not get yourself upset by calling yourself lazy and careless and failing at the basic responsibilities of adulthood. Your emotional history and the modern's life's relentless space. Understanding the real reasons behind chronic disorganization is the first and most powerful step toward making a change. In all honesty, the brain really was not built for this much stuff. For the amount of stuff that we have to live with today, unlike our forefathers and our foremothers and our ancestors, they didn't have all this stuff. They had a pencil and paper. They didn't have all these devices that we have. And here's the truth that organizing books really rarely discuss the human brain was not designed to manage the volume of possessions that our modern life demands from us. And like I said, our ancestors didn't have to deal with all this. Today, the average person and in their home contains over 300,000 items. We're talking about from the pencil to the water bottle. We have so many things in our homes, and that's just even maybe for one person. Imagine someone who has 4 children, and everybody has their own items. All those items are included in these 300,000 items. And that's a lot. And when these items don't have a designated spot to live, the brain is constantly saying, where is it? Where is it? It's temporarily placed, because if it doesn't have a specific space, then it's always either on vacation or misplaced, and nobody knows where to find it. So these piles and piles build up, and we are constantly trying to find, where the phone charger is. Does it belong in the kitchen? Does it belong in the bedroom? We need to think about, one of the things we're going to talk about today is where to give each and everything a home. The mess is a symptom, not a problem. And this perhaps is the most important reframe you will ever encounter about disorganization. The visible mess is that it's not actually a problem. The mess is the symptom of something deeper. Missing systems, unprocessed emotions, moreover, or the simple life of living faster, which we do. We live so much faster than our parents did, than our grandparents did, than our great grandparents did. And organizational structure is not as supported as I believe it once was way back then. Without intentional systems, it makes it very difficult to stay organized. Where the groceries land on the counter because you were on the phone when you were bringing them in the house. The mail that accumulates because sorting it requires for you to make decisions right then and there. Cleaning and doing the laundry, and the laundry that sits in the laundry basket, because folding competes with, you're being tired from coming home from a long day's worth of work and not feeling like you want to do the laundry or even fold the laundry. Because if you fold the laundry, in your mind, you need to put it away right away, which we should. But at least if we can get one small step done, it's more helpful than not touching it at all. And a lot of times, after a 14-hour day, our brain sees the laundry and it thinks we need to do the whole kit and caboodle. But if we can just get the laundry in the washing machine, do a load, put it in the dryer, dry it, if it doesn't get folded right away today, then make it a point that it gets done tomorrow. Just for starting. We'll get to the bigger system later on. And none of these are character flaws. They are entirely predictable systems that can be put into place in looking at the way systems work, but we have to get there. Why certain people struggle more than others. I'm not here to judge, and nor should you judge anybody else. While everyone experiences disorganization at times, some people carry a heavier burden due to the factors that run deeper than a habit. Understanding these factors isn't about excuses. It's not about making excuses. It's about cultivating genuine compassion for yourself, okay, for you, so that you can move forward effectively. Executing functional, executing and execution and executive function challenges. Millions of people live with ADHD and anxiety and depression and other conditions that directly affect the executive function. The cognitive skills and the responsibilities for planning and prioritizing tasks and following through. These can be difficult for some individuals. And following instructions, somebody saying, just clean up, is like telling someone with a broken leg, just get up and walk. It's not going to happen. It can't happen. It's more challenging than that. And so I always tell people, don't judge people because you really don't know how their brain works and how difficult being motivated to get organized can be for some people. The neurological wiring that makes initiating and sustaining organized organizational tasks can be genuinely difficult. So again, be careful that you're not judging and organizing those people that you know that are somewhat a little messy. So just be careful, maybe be more helpful. And if it's you, don't be so hard on yourself. Just know that there's help out there. Perfectionism, the all in one thinking. Many chronologically disorganized people are actually perfectionists at heart, believe it or not. If the space can't be organized perfectly and completely and permanently, sometimes for them, and right away today, it feels pointless to even start. So if you're one of those people, I would say, let's have a conversation, you and I, and let's talk a little bit about how, all this all this do it all right now or don't do it at all, we can help with that process. And thinking and knowing that, the laundry doesn't have to get folded just because you don't have the entire bedroom tidied up. The paperwork doesn't have to get filed because you need a whole system overload to do it right. That doesn't have to happen. So nothing gets done and the piles and piles grow. I'm here to help you understand that it doesn't have to be done that way. Even though your brain kind of works that way, we can do this a little bit at a time. The emotional attachment and unprocessed grief is another thing that some people are concerned with. Clutter is frequently emotional in nature. The box of items from a deceased parent that they have to go through, and it makes it difficult to sort through. The children's artwork that you feel guilty about throwing out or letting it go, and not realizing that they're going to make some more artwork tomorrow and we can hang that up tomorrow. The memorabilia from a past relationship. These aren't just objects, they're emotional weight given to in the physical form, and no amount of organizational tips will make sorting them feel natural. And that's difficult. That's difficult. They require really a gentleness, time, and support. Support from others who are willing to be patient and understand that you may need that help. Decision fatigue. Research constantly shows that humans make progressively worse decisions as the days continue. Highly successful, disciplined professionals often have most chaotic homes. They do. Their houses are probably quite a bit more messy, but that's okay. Not here to judge, here to help. So many of their decisions are made making decisions in the boardroom. They're made making decisions in the office. They're made where we have to make decisions. You know, this is our livelihood. So by the time they get home at the end of the evening, it just feels genuinely impossible to get anything done. The hidden costs you pay for a single day of losing items. The consequences of living without a system or without systems in your home extend far beyond the 15 minutes that you lose searching for the keys every morning or some mornings during the week because you may be looking for something else the next day. Constant searching creates persistence in low level stress and background of anxiety that colors everything. You'll never be quite certain where everything or anything is, because this means you're slightly braced for the next search. You're slightly in your mind thinking that I'm going to forget something tomorrow. So you've braced yourself for what it is you're going to forget tomorrow that you don't know where it's going to be. So we want to give you systems that will help. Um, the ambient stress that drains you emotionally affects your patience, affects how you interact with other people, how you focus, your quality of life in areas that aren't fully attributed to the disorder that's around you. You sometimes are not even aware of all of that. Many people describe feeling completely paralyzed by clutter, like they see it and it just stifles them. They just want to stop. You know, you want to tackle it, you know, you should tackle it, but the sheer volume of the task is overwhelming before you even begin. So the item continues to accumulate, it continues to take you longer to search. You feel the shame that deepens, and the cycle just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Social life often, is one that people just don't want. They avoid that because they're ashamed of having people come to their home, or they don't want to have to try to put everything away when somebody comes. And so it just, what happens is it quietly erodes your self-confidence and the sense of your home being your sanctuary. Getting started, small steps that actually create change. And this is one of the things that I often tell people, this is where we start, you know, just small steps, giving the keys a home. Wherever those keys are going to live, give them a home today. Put them away in that one space, either in the drawer, hang them up on a little hook, but know that they have to go there no matter what. If that's the only thing that you can do for 30 days, that's good. So it's the one the one home rule. Choose the most searched for item and assign it a single space. No negotiation. That's where it's going to live. Okay. And repetitiously, you do this every single day, or every single time that you walk into the space and you have that item in your hand, make sure it gets put away. Do not conveniently drop it. Do not conveniently, no, take it to where it belongs. Just that one item. Just that one item. And this may seem like a lot because we just talked about the 300,000 items that are in your house that maybe either belong to you because you live alone, or it could be 300,000 items in your home because you have an entire family. But for you, that one most important item, we're going to give it a home today, right now, and that's where it's going to live from now until eternity. The 5-minute reset. Before you go to bed each evening, spend 5 minutes intentionally returning something to where it belongs. I'm not sure what that something is. It could be the glass that belongs in the kitchen that you bring upstairs every night because you get thirsty, so you have a glass of water or a cup of water next to your bed. But ultimately, that glass or that cup belongs in the kitchen. So you're going to do a 5-minute reset for that item that isn't organized, and we're going to not allow it to be there overnight. So maybe the glass wasn't a good idea. Maybe it is the remote control that belongs not next to the bed, but it belongs like on the dresser. Okay. So maybe you want to be sure that that remote control gets back up on the dresser before you go to sleep. I know that's unrealistic, but it was a good thought anyway. Okay. So let me come up with something else. Um, all right. How about the folder that you're going to need for your doctor's appointment tomorrow? Let's make sure that gets downstairs tonight before you go to bed. You know you're going to need it. You know the children are going to need their backpacks before they go to bed. Let's be sure that those backpacks are downstairs next to the door before they go to sleep. Make sure that they do it. And if they've already gone to sleep and you're just starting this new task, you do it. But do not leave the backpacks in the bedroom. Make sure that they're downstairs next to the door before you go to bed tonight. And that's kind of your 5 minute reset. That's those are a couple of things that you can do. But basically, what you're doing is you're not allowing those items to sit overnight any place that they really shouldn't be, so that you are not able to locate them tomorrow, or that they don't already have a place where they're supposed to live. Decluttering before you organize. This is a big one. A lot of people believe that they need to do both at the same time. No, 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 no. So, a foundational truth is that it saves enormous time and energy. If you can't organize in the way, in a way because you have too much stuff, let's not worry about that. Let's just find and create a system for eliminating what you don't actively use right now and that you don't genuinely love. The fewer possessions that you have and the fewer items that you have to think about where they're going to go, the better. So you want to declutter first. You want to get rid of those items in that space. If you're going to clean off a section of your desk, let's just start with that small section and let's just declutter. Once you've decluttered, then you can just go back and put those items where you think you want them to go. Don't be so specific. Don't be so hard on yourself. Whether or not they look like the magazine or not doesn't matter. What we want to do is just get them back on the desk neatly. But you've already decluttered, so that's helpful. Also, another way of doing is to chunk the process. Instead of approaching the entire home, we're going to do this one place at a time. Again, um, we talked about, just instead of, so when we look at the home, if we look at, we want to do our whole house because we've got company coming, that can be overwhelming and that can stress everybody out in the entire house. So you want to pick one space at a time. Everybody can jump on board, or we can divvy it up into smaller pieces and give everybody a small space to do. And that can be done in just say 30 minutes. Just set a timer for 30 minutes. And don't try to overwhelm yourself with doing the entire house. That is just not achievable. Let's do it one small space at a time. The satisfaction of one space at a time, it builds momentum to the next. When you need more than tips, the power of side by side support is always helpful. Sometimes knowledge isn't just the missing ingredients, partnership is. There's a profound difference between reading about how to get organized and having an experienced, compassionate professional sitting right next to you that can help you get the job done in a non judgmental manner, um, in a way that is in real time, and you can really see the progress. We meet people at our business, we meet people where they are, and understanding how they think and how they live and how to help them build customized systems designed for a specific reality, not only for their home to look like a magazine, but to address both the practical and the emotional dimensions of disorganization, because we understand that the piles on the counters have stories. We know those papers have stories, whether it's children's artwork, whether it's the last doctor's appointment that you went to and you got excellent results, but you don't know what to do with that piece of paper. But that's okay. Most importantly, we don't just organize your space and leave you sitting there. We help you understand where these items belong, give you systems so that the new items that you bring into the home will have a place to live. They either live somewhere or they leave the house, one or the other, but they just can't be in limbo. That's what we want to do to help you avoid that. So, with your 15 minutes every morning looking for things, if that could be eliminated for you, I think you're going to find your life to be a little bit more simplistic. And we can help give you those ideas of how to live that simplistic life. Clutter Corrections is here to help those who are ready to get organized. And when you're ready, we're ready to help you. I'd like for you to share this video with a friend. And, we're here to help you rearrange, renew, and live well.